65 million years ago, an event occurred that even elementary school kids know about. A meteorite hit Earth, supposedly wiping out all dinosaurs in one fell swoop. But did this really happen? Could something more complex and intriguing have occurred? What was Earth like 1 minute after the big impact? How about a year later? Or perhaps 10 million years after? If you're unsure, don't worry. Welcome to our channel. We're about to tell you everything. So, let's begin. Did a cataclysm really occur? Scientists call the dinosaur extinction the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction. This event ended both the Cretaceous and the 200 million year Mesozoic era. And so began a new era, the one we live in now, called the Cenozoic. It wasn't just dinosaurs that went extinct. Large sea reptiles and even mollusks like ammonites, ancient creatures from the Devonian, vanished completely. Nearly the entire ecosystem was destroyed. Yet the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction wasn't the biggest in history. The Permian, with 96% of marine life and 73% of land vertebrates gone, or the earlier Ordovician extinction, were far worse. Both were vastly larger. Billions of years earlier, a cataclysm drastically increased atmospheric oxygen, turning the biosphere upside down. Other global extinctions occurred too, like the Francevillian or Rhyina biota, where entire groups of organisms vanished without leaving descendants. To grasp the scale, imagine all life on Earth disappearing, then new life emerging from virtually nothing. But why did the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction become the most famous? It's because we know far more about it than any other previous extinction event. An average person might know about the dinosaur extinction, but not the gorgonopsids that vanished in the Permian extinction. Let's talk about that asteroid. Scientists today are almost certain the asteroid impact was the main cause of the extinction. However, the idea that this collision instantly wiped out everything isn't accurate. On the other hand, some researchers still believe that most large animals died due to a massive pandemic. This theory has merit, but we'll discuss it in another video. What we can say for certain is that a cataclysm did occur, but it wasn't sudden. It was a process that lasted years, possibly thousands. Now, let's examine in detail how this great change unfolded. Fortunately, we have a real time machine called geology. The impact that changed destiny. On land, dinosaurs; in the sea, mosasaurs and plesiosaurs; and in the skies, pterosaurs. At the end of the Cretaceous, reptiles ruled the world. Evolutionarily, primitive mammals and birds were far ahead. Yet they couldn't occupy a dominant position. But when the asteroid or comet hit Earth, everything changed. Even today, books tell us this happened 65 million years ago. But recent studies show the Great Collision occurred about 1 million years earlier. This celestial body was 10 kilometers in diameter and hit the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Researchers know the impact site as the Chicxulub crater. The Shiva crater off India's west coast may be from a fragment that broke off pre-impact. If the main asteroid had hit the sea, it would have caused an unprecedented tsunami. This would have undoubtedly caused serious damage to the biosphere. But even then, it wouldn't have been catastrophic. However, unluckily for dinosaurs, the main body hit land. Upon impact, there was a massive explosion. After a massive rock shower in space, they rained back as fire, engulfing Earth in flames. By this point, countless animals had already perished. But the worst was yet to come. More terrifying still, after the fiery rain, dawn never broke again. No matter how long they waited. The sun wasn't the issue. Earth itself was the problem. Dust clouds blocked the sun for years, plunging the world into darkness. Even the brightest day was like a full moon night or darker still. Temperatures plummeted and polar ice expanded rapidly. Photosynthesis halted, wiping out numerous plant species. Plant-eating dinosaurs starved or suffocated to death. And carnivores who fed on herbivores also died from starvation or lack of oxygen. The synapsid's revenge. How long did this endless night and long winter last? While scientists can't answer precisely, it's believed to have lasted several years. Once the airborne dust settled, the long winter finally ended. Then came spring. But when the sun shone again, a grim sight stretched across the land. Imagine dead forests everywhere and giant animal carcasses scattered about. The lifeless sea brought shells and marine remains ashore, forming a mountain of bones. The planet became a vast communal graveyard, where former foes, herbivores and carnivores, now lay side by side. What creature could possibly survive such a dire situation? Primarily, it was small scavengers that endured, feeding on carcasses, lichens, and tiny sprouts. For plants, the best survivors were those that endured years of winter, with seeds or spores ready to sprout in spring. The extremely fertile soil was also a significant factor. Imagine the thick layer of humus covering the Earth at that time. Throughout our planet's history, the dominant animal groups have shifted multiple times. For instance, the Carboniferous period saw giant insects and amphibians ruling the world. But in the Permian, their synapsid descendants flourished. The previously mentioned Gorgonops was also part of this group. Among Earth's dominant species, only cynodonts survived the Permian extinction. Part of the Therapsid group, they were similar to both mammals and reptiles. Though inheriting strengths from ancestors, they lost ground to dinosaur predecessors in the Triassic period, following the Permian era. During the Mesozoic, cynodont descendants occupied just a small niche in the biosphere. These small creatures fed on plants, insects, carrion, and dinosaur eggs. One Triassic species, Adelibacillus, resembled a mouse in both size and appearance. They outlasted reptiles and, dreaming of dominance, evolved gradually. The meteor impact and ensuing long winter gave them their chance. You might have guessed it, cynodont descendants were mammals. Just 100,000 years after the meteorite impact, mammal species doubled. In 700,000 years, large species emerged. Their growth rate was astounding. Human ancestors were among them. Early primates may have coexisted with dinosaurs roughly 80 to 90 million years ago. A primitive primate called Purgatorius survived the extinction. It looked more like a squirrel than a modern ape. Native to North America, these agile omnivores spread across the globe. With dinosaurs gone and before predators evolved, these small creatures lived without fear. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Much about human origins is unknown, but purgatories might be our direct ancestor. Anyway, we're cynodont descendants who've regained nature's dominion, achieving unimaginable power. So, we can view dinosaur extinction not as tragedy, but as nature's gratifying gift. The best gift for our channel is your like, share, and subscription. We sincerely thank you for your support. It's time to say goodbye, but we'll be back soon. See you later.